Oh, heck yeah. Amazon Prime Day delivery. So here we have a Rexing V1LG dash cam. So this is a high definition front and rear dash cam. I will do an unboxing of this video here, and I will also provide samples basically of the video from the car, inside, outside, and we'll talk about the features here. So let's get this guy opened up. So inside the box, card from Rexing with the warranty. This is going to be the front camera, so it basically mounts on the dash this way. Here we have the high definition rear camera. This is the cable to connect the rear camera. We have the USB cable to plug the camera system into the computer, download the videos, or you can always just remove the micro SD card and download videos that way. And this is the power cable. Bunch of little mounting pieces. Here is a tool to help put the cables inside the trim pieces of your car for installation. And this is the mounting piece to put the main unit on the windshield of the vehicle. More documents, and then a user manual of operations. Also, I did order a high endurance video monitoring card. So for this product, they want you to use a high endurance card, basically any card that has that little number 10 in there. This unit supports a 16 gigabyte up to 128 gigabyte card. 64 gigabytes. I'll do some testing here to get some actual numbers on video size to figure out how much time 64 gigabytes will record. Also, this unit auto powers on and off with the ignition of your car unless you mount it to a power source that stays on all the time. And if you do that, if you park your car for a long period of time, you could potentially drain your battery. So I did order a PowerMagic Pro by Blackview, and essentially this box, you can plug your dash cam into this box and it will have a feature to where it will read the voltage of your battery. If it drops down below a certain set point, whatever you have it set at, it will automatically turn the camera off. And then there's also a delay to where you can set the timer of the camera. Basically, your time settings here, anywhere between 6 hours and indefinite. And again, here's your voltage settings. It's a matter of just setting the jump switches to a certain way. So some features for the V1LG. It actually has a 2.7 inch screen, 1080p resolution for the front camera with a 180 degree viewing angle. The rear camera is 720p with 140 degree viewing angle. The V1P that has the front and rear camera, the rear camera is just 480p, so it's a lower resolution. Also included with this particular unit is a built-in GPS, so you have the option to imprint the vehicle speed and location, everything like that on the recorded videos, and that could come in handy if you happen to be in an accident and someone wants to accuse you of excessive speed or anything like that. You do have a GPS log of how fast your vehicle is going. So this unit does run about $170 if you don't find it on sale. I was able to get it for $118 during the Prime Day sales, but the reason why this particular unit's a little bit cheaper is it doesn't have the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth option for you to pull video directly from this onto your phone. So it's all handled through a micro SD card that is inside the unit itself, but you are able to review all your video and everything like that on the camera unit itself as long as you have power included on it. Another feature that this has that if you're looking to buy a camera that you're really going to want to have is loop recording. So basically, as this records, you can set it to record in increments, so usually like a 3-minute block or something like that. And as it goes through, once the memory card is full, it will automatically go and overwrite the oldest recorded footage. That way you don't stop recording. That way, you know, if your memory card gets full, it doesn't just stop and not know what to do. It'll constantly record. This unit as well has a G-force sensor, so if you are involved in an accident, it will detect a collision. My understanding as well is if you hit a pothole hard enough, it'll actually detect it as a collision as well. And what it'll do is it will lock that particular file, that video file, and not overwrite itself. So then it'll protect your video from being overridden if you have a smaller memory card like 16 gigabyte and it takes you some time to get to a position to where you can offload that video. This has audio as well. You do have the option to have the audio recording on or off. So for privacy, if you don't want your music or your conversations or anything like that recorded, you can turn the audio off on this. Along with the GPS location and speed location being stamped on the video that is recorded from this dash cam, it also has a timestamp that you can have saved on the video as well. This is rated for temperatures up to 140 degrees. Most of the time you're not going to have an issue with that, but if you do park in a parking lot and this is in direct sunlight, it will get hot and you have the potential of damaging the unit or damaging the SD card that you have on the inside. So if you do park it for long periods of time, like if you're at work or something like that, try to park with underneath a tree so there's some shade on this unit. Really quickly, we'll take a look at the camera here. Again, this is the main unit. On the front, your camera lens does have a side-to-side adjustment, so you can push the camera side to side depending on how you have the camera mounted to make sure your field of view is focused. Again, it's a 170-degree wide-angle lens. On the side here, you do have this knob, which turning this knob will allow you to set the angle of the camera up or down for varying angles of the windshield. Also on the side here, you have your power port, the reset button. Come on, focus camera. Power port, reset button, USB in order to plug into your computer. This is the cable for the rear camera, and this is where your micro SD card for memory is going to go connect into. For the rear camera, it is essentially the camera itself with the adjustment on the side for you to adjust the angle, so when you have this mounted in your rear window, you can move this to a proper angle that's going to work for the rear of your vehicle. This does have an HDR type effect for the video, so it should have good quality for day and night. I will test that and include those tests in this video, but my understanding is night video for this works very well. It does not have infrared, but again, through my research, infrared hasn't been the most beneficial feature for a camera in night vision, because honestly, you end up with a lot of glare, and you know, unless you mount more infrared lights on the outside of your vehicle, you may not be able to see what you think you can see. I won't get too much into the Blackmagic Pro, but essentially there is your jumper box and the extension cable, and it is a cigarette adapter style plug. So this kit is a universal kit to work with pretty much any dash cam that uses a cigarette lighter adapter. But you will plug this into a constant power source, either off the battery, or if you go through your fuse box and find a power source that is on all the time, even when your key is off, that's what you're going to want to plug this into, and then you just set your jumpers to whatever setting that you need, run the cable for this, and plug in the power adapter from your dash cam into this. So I'm not going to go too much into this. We'll focus more on the dash cam itself.
Alright guys, so here I'm going to use the GPS player in order to view a few of the videos. I have a set of videos front and rear for a clear sunny day, a pair of videos for overcast and a little bit of rain, and then a couple of videos that are in the dark. So you can play it one of a couple ways. You can just double click it and play it, or use the GPS player. So I just want to show the GPS player feature. So we're just going to open it up, and then I'll grab one of the videos here. You can just drag and drop it in there. This is the front camera as I was leaving the store, just sitting at a stoplight here. As you can see, the GPS automatically pulls up my location. This is the view for the front camera, and we will set the speed to miles per hour so you can see the current speed right here. Current time and GPS, latitude and longitude. As I begin to move, you can see my location on the map starting to move, and then also logs current speed. So if in an instance there was an accident that occurred here, you can see what your driving actions are currently, location, and your speed. And there's nothing really washing out on the camera here. Now to the rear camera of the same clip there. The camera seemed to focus a little bit more on the water droplets on the back of the windshield. I think with the water droplets gone, you'd still have the same effect as you would on the clear sunny day, the clip you saw earlier. But even with the camera focusing a little bit more on those water droplets, you can still see what's going on behind you and everything in the video. So if there was an incident behind you, the camera would still show what had happened. Here is night driving. This is down a side street here with occasional street lights. Here we come into areas with no street lights. The camera performs fairly well in the dark. Anything that's illuminated by your headlights is easy to see. The camera's not getting washed out by oncoming traffic as well. So as well as you could see on your own, with your own eyes driving at night, the camera's picking up similar features. So you can still see road signs and things of that sort. And as we come up to the stoplight here, there's another car that comes head-on at the intersection, and there's more lighting. You can tell the camera does not wash out when this car comes along, and you can still see a lot of the features of the intersection. This being a construction zone, so it's easier to see. It's easy to see the cones and everything of that sort. This is where Rexon's cameras really fail. This is the rear camera in obviously the night mode. The camera's not washing out with the headlights of the car that's driving behind me, but as you can see, looking around here, you can only see points of light. You can't really make out the road or anything like that. So if you're in a situation where you just have the rear camera, or you're trying to film something that's behind your car and that's where the incident occurred, unfortunately you're probably not going to see very much. To sum everything up, overall this camera is a decent camera. The front camera works really well in good lighting conditions, even low light. The rear camera leaves a little to be desired in low light conditions. But if you're just looking for a camera to mount on your car to protect yourself in this instance of an accident, or if you're going to have the vehicle parked and you have the Blackmagic Pro to power your camera while your vehicle's parked, this is going to be the camera that's for you. Again, it's lacking some of the features such as the Bluetooth, so you can view the video and everything like that on your phone. But if you are okay with just popping an SD card out and plugging it into your computer to pull the video that way, this works just fine. I did have a little bit of trouble when I tried to load the video from the camera itself through the provided USB cable. I'll continue to see if I can troubleshoot that, but the video was easy just to pull from the SD card, like I said.